Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It is time now for Education Matters, our favorite segment. We are here with Dr. Craig Douglas. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you, Dr. Douglas?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you, Colette?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's great to see you. Dr. Douglas, for the last few months, we've really been talking about the staffing shortages at local schools and the need for new workers and volunteers. Last week, we covered the need for bus drivers. Before that, we mentioned the need for substitute teachers. Today, we are diving into how volunteering at schools is so important. So, Dr. Douglas, who is allowed to be a volunteer?
Well, kids are so important. That's why this segment really matters, Colette. Volunteers step up from all ages and sources.
Yeah.
Many times, it's parents who volunteer to go on field trips, or parents who step up to volunteer to run the concession stand at a home athletic event. So many times parents, and I'll say grandparents, people related in the family become part of the school family. But also volunteers come from the community. There are longstanding volunteers in my community of Carlton who have volunteered for decades in the Sports Boosters Club, for example. So volunteers come from all walks of life.
Dr. Douglas, what do you say that the roles that are usually associated with volunteers? I know that when I like to volunteer at my kids' school, I like reading to the kids. I love doing that. Tell me about what other roles that volunteers play.
Well, one of the favorite roles, I say this a little bit tongue-in-cheek, is to volunteer as a parent chaperone on a field trip, especially an overnight field trip to Washington, D.C. That is a game changer in many ways, but a very positive experience, really. Volunteering to chaperone dances, proms, other activities associated with the school. More eyes are very helpful when you have these significant events. And then the routine matters of the day also welcome volunteers. I work in one elementary school nearby, and 4 parent volunteers come in one day a week to help check out books in the elementary library. How cool is that?
That's great.
Playground volunteers in the lunchroom. They're needed in all sorts of roles of the school function.
And a lot of times it gives the teachers a little extra break during the day, which they need. We appreciate and love our teachers. So what's the screening process like, Dr. Douglas, for this, for volunteering?
It's changed over time. It used to be word of mouth, come as you are type of thing. It's become much more formalized in this day and age of the internet and being able to research and do background checks. And so many times there's an application process that can be a little bit standoffish perhaps at first thought. But when you think about it, that's a nice safety measure for parents to know that anyone that's volunteering in a school setting has gone through some sort of screening process. And these processes vary building by building, district by district. They're pretty harmless, though, to be honest with you, and cost-free.
Yes, it does give you peace of mind as a parent. And Dr. Douglas, where should people go to get started?
Many different options. The local school in their community is probably a great initial step. Maybe it's that principal in the parking lot in the morning. Maybe it's someone that works or teaches in the building. But also on the internet, the intermediate school districts are a great repository of general application inquiries, and they can help direct you into areas of needs. And so I would say the options are many, and it's up to the individual in terms of what is the most comfortable way to initiate a conversation about volunteering in a local school.
And it's a win-win for everyone. You get so fulfilled being a volunteer and you help out your local school district. Thank you, Dr. Douglas, for this valuable information. Once again, we appreciate you. We really do.
Thank you. Stay well.
You as well, Dr. Douglas. For more information about today's topic, just check out the school source page. That's at WNEM.com.